Hey, She Risers. How are y'all? I hope that everyone is doing good today. My name is Jaslyn. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the struggles with co-parenting. Co-parenting is the hardest things really you can do sometimes, like most times, after a breakup or a divorce. Especially when there's still a lot of hurt and emotions involved. But when there is kids involved, it's not just about you anymore. It's about those kids. I know it ain't easy. It is not for the faint of heart. There are days when the last thing you want to do is communicate or cooperate with your ex. But you do it for the kids. And the hardest part is really keeping those emotions in check. So let's check out these videos about other people's co-parenting journey. And then I will come back and put my commentary at the end. Let's get into it.
Well, I just got off the phone with my daughter's father, and at the risk of this blowing up completely and totally in my face, I have a message I'd like to share. I don't want to co-parent with you either, friend. And that's not the only thing that you and I agree on. It's not. Besides the fact that you and I have a completely, totally dysfunctional and toxic relationship with a horribly broken past, you and I somehow, in spite of all of that, came together and made the most amazing human that you and I know. So rather than finding everything and anything to argue about, how about you and I come together and also agree on the simple fact that this is not about you and it is not about me. It is about her, our child. It's about how she feels. Does she feel safe, emotionally secure with her two parents, that although they're not together, it's still her family? Are we creating an environment for her and holding space for her, regardless of the problems you and I have had in the past, that we can come together collectively and move forward in the future so that she can be happy, healthy, successful, intelligent, and find the type of love that you and I should have had, but that we don't?
It's so hard to co-parent with the same person that you're healing from, bro. Every time I look at you, I see all the things that you put me through, and that's just not cool, bro. And it's like you gotta put you and your feelings to the side because you gotta do what's best for the kids, and you don't want to be the reason why they don't have a relationship with their father, even though you are so hurt. And every time I look at my baby daddy, I see all the things he's done to me, and I just can't. I just kept trying to see good in this man instead of seeing and believing what he was showing me in my face. That always be my downfall, because I always try to look for something to try to hold on. Mental abuse hurts so bad, but baby, keeping a family together is never worth your sanity. It's not worth your peace. It's not worth losing yourself. So many times I be sitting there upset with myself that I did not love myself more than I loved that man. No matter how good you be to a person, a narcissist will forever see you as the villain. And it really does complicate things when we bring kids into this world with people that are not our person. And I feel like with us women, it hurt us so bad because, bro, I could have literally died. I could have died literally having your child on that bed in that hospital. How dare you, you know? And it ain't even about the relationship for real. It's just about the respect that I expect you to have for me, that I'm your baby mom, that you can't even give me that. You can't even take accountability off the strength that we gotta work on one accord, and as far as the kids, you can't even give me that.
I honestly feel for any woman that has to co-parent and heal from the same person. Like, that really and truly has to be torture to me. And please understand, like, it's okay to take that time to heal. It's like nobody ever thinks about what anybody doing until a woman decides she don't want to co-parent. Everything is cool. The disrespect is cool. Not spending time with the child. Everything is cool until a woman decides that she don't want to co-parent no more. Now all of a sudden you're not thinking about the child. No, like if there's disrespect still in the situation, or you need to heal from the disrespect and the things that happen, take that time. I'm telling you now, it is okay. Like, don't listen to what nobody got to say. Well, you got to think about the child. Won't nobody thinking about that child when you was being disrespected. Won't nobody thinking about that child whenever somebody was putting your life at risk and your child's life at risk and stressing you out. Nobody was thinking about the child during those times, especially not him. So with that being said, please feel free to take all the time you need to heal. Please feel free to take all, especially if disrespect is going on now. A lot of people make it seem like as women, we're just supposed to take everything for the betterment of the child. No, the betterment of the child, especially if you are the caregiver, the betterment of the child depends on you. Yeah, the betterment of the child depends on you as the mother. Yeah. So with that being said, take all the time you need and just honestly set boundaries. Like, I can't say this enough. Setting boundaries will let you know who you're dealing with and will let you know why they dealing with you. Set those boundaries. It's either one or two things going to happen. And set healthy boundaries. I will say that. They either going to get in line or they're going to get gone. And whichever one they do should be okay with you. And a lot of men be feeling like, well, or even people feel like, well, regardless of the fact of what happens, you still have to maintain a co-parenting relationship. No, I don't. No, I don't. Like, that opens the door for people to disrespect you. And I experienced this myself. And honestly, that's what I say as women. Like, I just want women to do better overall. So then that way, when they come across a woman like me, it don't look like I'm being difficult. Yeah. Because one thing about it, if respect is not on the table, I would not be at the table. Child or not. And a lot of people feel like, well, other women do it. You know what I'm saying? This is how it's been happening. You know, I can disrespect my child's mother. I can talk to her crazy. And we can still have a copacetic co-parenting situation. We would not have anything if respect is not on the table. I am not the one or the two. I am none of the numerics when it comes about my respect.
We're co-parents. Of course we still do things all together.
We're co-parents. Of course I still pay for her nails.
We're co-parents. Of course I still bring up the past of him cheating on me.
We're co-parents. Of course I still get jealous.
We're co-parents. Of course people assume we're together when we're out in public.
We're co-parents. Of course I'm convinced we're gonna get back together eventually.
We're co-parents. Of course he's getting me expensive Christmas gifts.
We're co-parents. Of course she talks shit on me to all of her friends.
We're co-parents. Of course I still have his location.
We're co-parents. Of course we still have sex.
For a little over a year now, these are some of the things that I found that I struggle with. One, I feel like I'm missing out on the experience of raising my son in a two-parent household. I just always thought that my kids would be raised with their mom and dad. So it really bothers me sometimes that I'm not doing that, and especially because my son doesn't get to experience that. Two, being the primary parent means a lot of the responsibility falls on me. There's no room for excuses. There's no room for failure. Third is not having help in the home with discipline, behavior management, bath time, meal time, so it can get really stressful. Fourth is being on different pages with the parent, whether it may be that we're at odds about something, parenting style, not feeling like we're working as a team, the communication, etc. And what a lot of people don't understand is that this is not co-parenting, this is parallel parenting. And where I thought I was a very guarded parent, I had to let my guard down because I don't be knowing what goes on with my son all the time. And it takes a lot of patience and compromise. But if you're also a single mom or a co-parenting mom, make sure you follow me for more.
Why is it so hard to co-parent? This is one of the reasons why. This is in response to my video of the guy asking, is it my job to put food in my baby mom's fridge? Right? To which I reply, yes, it is. If she can and you can, then you should. Right? That's obviously situational too. Right? But if you're only looking at it in terms of if she can't and you can, then the kid should be with the dad. If you're looking at it just black and white like that, that's a problem for me. Like the inability to think critically. Maybe this isn't you, right? But if this is you, right? The inability to think critically or to think from another perspective that may be outside of your own experience is the reason why we have a hard time accomplishing things and communicating. Because there are scenarios where this is not accurate. There are scenarios where someone is falling on hard times. There are scenarios there where someone is having a hard time making ends meet, but they're still a good parent and they provide in so many other ways. What if that mom is having a hard time and the kids really love being around her and the kids really benefit from spending time with her? And I also have to think about it from the perspective that as a father, my job and my responsibility is not only to my kids, it's to the mother of my kids as well. Her safety, her well-being, her mental health, that should also be a concern of mine because it's directly related to my kids. Because if I take those kids away from her and that affects her mental health, I'm doing everyone a disservice. So if you're thinking about it in just black and white, that if she can't do it and I can, the kid should be with me, and that's it, then we need to change the way we think. Because our kids need both parents. And sometimes a parent needs help and a parent needs assistance. And sometimes a parent can be lacking in one area and still being able to provide in so many other ways. So if you're only thinking in this way, that it's black and white, then we need to have better conversations and we need to be able to think outside the box and think more critically about this, because the kids are the only ones that suffer. And it's sad.
What is the most difficult aspect of co-parenting?
Focusing on the co-parent. I think the biggest problem we have within co-parenting is we stop parenting in order to co-parent. Right? So if I say co-parent to anyone, immediately that person thinks of the other parent. We take our eyes off the child to focus on the other parent. You think co-parenting, successful co-parenting is where mom and dad get along and everyone can be maybe in the same house together, go out for meals and okay, great. Like, let's say you and the parent are able to have an amazing relationship or a decent relationship, but the child's affected. The child's not happy. The child's not growing how they should. Is that successful? Or is successful raising an amazing child and then being happy, content, healthy? But you and the dad might not talk. You and the dad might not get along. But the reason you're there is the child, right? So if we focus on parenting, if we have two adults that stop focusing on co-parenting and both focus on being the best parents they can be, co-parenting will just now.
Hey, baby, I'm so happy to see you too. Go ahead and get in the car. I'll be over there in just a second. Hey, thanks for getting the kids for a little while. They really missed you. No problem. That's just what a real parent does. Oh, is it now? So do real parents not see their kids for 7 weeks and then complain when the other parent just asks for a little bit of help for a couple hours? See, there you go again, running your mouth. See, next time, I'm not going to show up at all. Then what you going to do? The same thing I've been doing for the last 7 weeks, making it work, making it happen. See that tone right? Hey, babe, we're not fighting. We're not fighting. You see that tone right there? It's why I'm not around. So me asking for help and my tone are the reason you became a real parent, right? You're really lucky I'm not trying to embarrass you for the kids. I told you I'm a real parent. I'm gonna keep stepping up when I have to. All right, then the next time I need a 45-minute break, I'll make sure to call you. See now, 45 minutes. See now, I'm gonna go for full custody. So you want to go for 45 minutes every 7 weeks to full custody? Do what it takes. That's what a real parent does. All right, full custody can start today. Hey kids, you going back over here? Oh, I ain't got time for that today. I got somewhere else to be. See that smug look right there? I'll see you in court. Bye, babies.
As a mom, understand that it is not your job to make parenting easy or hard for your child's father. Your only job is to make the child available. That is it. Your job is to only make the child available. End of discussion. Child's father feel like, well, dang, you're not meeting me halfway. You're not. If you two are in a great place and y'all want to help each other, look out for each other, that is great, because at the end of the day, you guys are family. So it makes it easier when the two people can get along. That is perfect. Now, you ain't got to like one another, but you can at least respect one another. That makes the co-parenting situation great. But if y'all not on that type time, just know that your responsibility is only to make the child available. Hey, well, you know, this is the time that I'm going to be free, or, you know, what is your schedule looking like? And we can try to meet in the middle as much as possible. But outside of that, understand it is not your responsibility to make parenting easy or hard. It is only your job as the mother to make the child available.
I'm going to be very transparent with this message. I'm going to be very brutally honest in this message. I have never in my life, and I've only been on this earth for 30 years, right? I have never in my life had to deal with such an evil enemy until I have had a child. Like, I'm talking about an enemy, somebody who does not want to see you do well, somebody who wants it out for you, someone who wants you to crash out and physically they want nothing but death for you. I have never saw such a bitter individual in my life until I have had a child. The person I have laid down and had a child with, I don't know at all. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know at all. I'm going to admit that I have been completely gaslighted, love-bombed, manipulated, blindsided. I completely don't know who this person is. And it's very sad that us women will lay down and have a child by someone that we, in the end, we end up competing with and fighting against. And I'm not even just talking about legal matters. Kids are blessings, right? But I've never in my life had to endure so much trauma since I have had my daughter, and it's been 5 years. 5. And it's not over. I really want this to be over so I can move on with my life. If I have moved on and the other parent has supposedly moved on, why are we fighting? Why aren't we just taking care of the child and moving on with our little lives? I'm not gonna lie, I can literally write a story, a book about my life and what I have to literally go through every single day. The bitterness, the pettiness, the things out of spite, the not wanting the better for the other parent. You got one parent thinking of the best interest of the child, and then you have the other parent wanting it out for the other parent and doesn't want the other parent to get away with anything. It is completely unfair for the child. It is completely chaotic for the child. No child should have to go through this at all. It gets even worse when you're having to deal with the other parent when the other parent is a narcissist. I'm talking about the other parent is a narcissist so bad to the point where they play victim about everything when they've done all the things to you, but they playing victim as if you did something to them. Let's not even talk about not even want to financially support the child and want to make the mother struggle and go through all the things just because they're bitter. Let's talk about the fact that they have talked bad about you to everybody, got everybody thinking that you're the villain and it's really them. Let's talk about the fact that they have turned everybody completely against you, even your own family.
Here's the problem when two people can't co-parent. The non-primary parent always gets to pick and choose which part of parenting they want to do. Then you have people in the world that thinks they're okay just because they're not a deadbeat. Since when is inconsistency okay? Of course, the primary parent is always going to get easily frustrated because that other parent gets to pick and choose which part of parenting they want to do. Got some people who want to do all the fun part of parenting and all that, but when it's time to financially provide for the child, mentally be there for the child, emotionally comfort that child, you're not capable of doing those things. Then you want to post the child and be the Instagram dad of the year and stuff, but when it's late, who's taking that child to the hospital? When that child is in need, most of the time that child is going to call on that primary parent. When that child is sick, who got to call off work? Who got to find a babysitter? So the primary parent, of course, is going to feel like if you get to pick and choose what part of parenting you get to do, then I'm going to pick and choose when you get to see that child. I know that just turned a few heads. That's unfair, right? Because here come the people that's like, as long as that other parent wants to be involved in that child's life, they should be able to be there. So for the people who just said, let's explain this a little bit. So let's use a group project, for example, right? Because this is two. Y'all are co-parenting. You do the project, you put the work in, you stay up late at night, you do everything, correct? You present the project, that other person not there, but then when that person get there, y'all still both get the same grade. Tell me
if that sounds fair to you. Disclaimer, this is not to everybody's situation. This is not my situation. I'm just saying most of the times what I've been through personally and things I've heard my friends say, this kind of just seems like what's going on. So for all the people that's like, why baby mamas and baby daddies never be together if they have a baby? This is why. What you don't get is when parents are doing that, they're protecting their child from hurt and inconsistency. And 9 times out of 10, unless the woman is mature and the man, you're never really going to be able to co-parent with. Because everybody love the 50-50 conversation. 50% the mom, 50% the dad. Well, why is the mom or whoever the primary parent is always holding up 70, 80, 90, 95%? So if you're going to be a parent, be a real parent. Don't be a social media parent. Don't be an inconsistent parent. Be a full-time parent. And if you can't do that, you're not.
Yeah. Co-parenting really means you gotta put those feelings on ice and focus on what's best for the kids. I know it's hard because some days the last thing you want to do is deal with your ex. But the kids need both of the parents to step up. And maybe forgiving and moving on feels impossible right now because maybe you're still mad, hurt, or you feel some type of way. But when it comes to co-parenting, you got to keep those feelings out the picture, at least when the kids are around, because they don't need to feel that tension. They just need to know they're loved and taken care of. It's all about making a vibe where the kids feel safe and stable. Yeah, it's not always going to be smooth. There's going to be drama time to time, but you got to keep your eyes on the prize, and the prize is your kids' happiness. But don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you got to be besties with your ex. It's just about making it work for the kids. And you got to set boundaries, keep the convo respectful, and always put the kids first. I hope these stories hit home and gave you some strength to keep pushing through. Because co-parenting ain't easy, but remember, you're doing it for the kids and for yourself. Keep showing up, keep growing, and know you've got a whole community here with you. Make sure to like, share, and drop a comment about your own co-parenting journey. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so we can keep rising together. Stay strong, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.